Situations ending, relationships ending is always just a hard thing to experience. You're not missing out on nothing, babe. You was with them and you seen what it was like. Because when you're sad in the moment, you're thinking of, oh, he's probably texting another girl right now. He will still be the same person. It's not something you have to internalize and feel bad about because you know what she's getting. You just experienced it. Like, not much has changed. It's only been a week. If you don't have no standards, my girl, y'all can fall for anything. A man is going to allow you to stay in a situation for as long as you let yourself stay in a situation. If you get with a man who wants to settle in his own life, what do you really think he's gonna bring to the relationship? Settlement. And I ain't talking legal. You are literally escaping a terrible life. No tea, no shade. Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be sitting down and talking to you guys. I feel like I haven't done like a calm sit down in the moment video in a long time. So let's get into it. As you guys could see, y'all know I just got my hair done and I reinstalled my wig by myself. You guys will see that in an upcoming vlog. And I must say I didn't do too shabby. Not that I can see. So I'm feeling cute. I'm feeling like, hold on, I could do a 1-2 ting. I have myself some wine here. This is my favorite wine that I have tried thus far in my life. You know those type of girls who are really into wine and they know the wine names and all that? I wanna know that. Like, I wanna get like that as I get older, but as of right now, okay, this is my favorite wine. It's very inexpensive. Look at this. Get yourself a drink, because you know it's love season. Valentine's Day is literally in 3 days, which didn't really prompt me to make this. What prompted me to make this video, cheers. Okay, what prompted me to make this video was in the last Italy vlog, I kind of had towards the end of the video this whole portion where I was kind of talking and opening up with you guys about a situation that I just experienced. It just felt so good to talk about. I feel like I have so much more to share, so I wanted to kind of elaborate on everything that I was mentioning in that video. So let's just get into it. Let's get started talking all things breakup, relationships, makeup. Like, these are the things that I don't wish I knew, because I'm so grateful that I experienced everything in life the way that I have experienced it thus far. But these are the things that I have learned that I am so happy to share with you guys. So let's just get into it, okay? I'm going to put my hair back out my face, which is extremely dry right now. Like, can you guys tell how dry my face is? If not, you could probably tell how dry my lips are. So I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize my lips. And I can't lie, typically I'm a Blistex girl, but my Blistex finished and my mom had this brand new Carmex and I was like, hey. And she basically let me have it, but I'm coming to find out that Carmex does a good job in the moment, not after the moment, boo. So I'm gonna need something a little bit more moisturizing for my lips right now, and I'm just gonna go ahead with my Summer Fridays. Like, it's time for a re-up, but there's just still stuff in here, so why would I ever waste money? I kind of want my face to be a little bit moisturized before I start applying my makeup, so I'm gonna go ahead with my Ulta Moisturizing Primer Spray, which is also almost out, but this kind of just, you know, brings some moisture back into the face. Situationship breakups are probably worse than actual relationship breakups, because a situationship, you're not only just grieving that the person is no longer in your life. Situationships typically have and are based on potential, like the potential of what you guys could be, the potential of what it will be like when you guys finally get together, the potential of the life you can have with this person, and not only having what you currently have being taken away, it's like that's ending, and so is all of the possibilities that probably you were thinking about. I feel like it's probably like even more hard to get over a situationship for that very reason. Whether it's a relationship or a situationship, girl, if you are going through a breakup right now, look at it like you're not losing anything, you're not missing out on anything. If anything, you kind of like escaped. You escape. You are literally escaping a terrible life. If you were in a situation where you were just compromising on so much, you weren't really getting much from the situation, know that you escape. A big source of reference for me is TikTok. TikTok has just opened my eyes to so many different people's life experience. Dating and relationships is such a hot topic right now for whatever reason. So a lot of people are going to TikTok and just talking about relationships and stuff like that. I am so shocked at the fact that a lot of people are in relationships they're not happy in. Like, to me, that was such a shock. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I think more practically and I'm like, okay, if this is life and in life you get to choose who you want to create your life with further, who you want to wake up with, who you want to live with, you know, all those things. I would assume that people are with people that make them happy. I would assume that people are out here choosing people that actually benefit their lives, but it's a common trend to be in a relationship that does not fulfill you. And I am just like, it was blowing my mind when I really started to grasp that. Like how, you know, people always say there's exceptions to the rule. I feel like in relationships, the exception is people that are actually happy. And the rule it looks to me, to me it's looking like the rule is just everybody settling. No tea, no shade. What concealer am I going to use today? I haven't used this one in a while, but I think I'm going to use my e.l.f. to conceal my brows. I know I told you guys I was probably gonna stop concealing my eyebrows. I capped, I lied, I brimmed, I just don't know, man. I feel like when you're initially going through a breakup or like just breaking off a connection with somebody that you're close to, it's really easy to be in your feelings. Like, it's easy to be sad and it's easy to be emotional about the situation, but babes, after a certain age, it's time to get critical. It's time to start thinking critically now. We have to get into our minds a little bit and kind of out of our hearts when it comes to making better decisions moving forward in terms of relationships and just like helping us with the getting over it process. Because something for me is like, I find it easier to accept things once I kind of understand them more. So once I can kind of be like, okay, we didn't work out for this reason, that makes sense. I don't need to be sad about it because there is an obvious reason as to why it didn't work out. That's the way my brain works. So if you are the same way, I think you'll like get a lot of value out of the things that I'm saying. First thing I would really suggest is just to assess the situation. Like, you gotta sit down and ask yourself certain questions, babe. We have to get asking and we have to get answering. Even just looking at how long you, especially for a situationship, like how long did you spend on this person? How long has this person been in your life? Okay, those are the questions you really need to ask. Really just figuring out what role you played in the relationship and if you were getting everything you wanted out of it. If you're dating, if you're young, if you're beautiful, if you know you're that, you really need to be getting what you want out of your relationships. And I feel like that should just be for everybody. Like, obviously, if I'm adding somebody into my day-to-day life on such an intimate level, there should be some form of benefit. Like, should there not? Why am I sad? Like, why are you making my life worse when life is already hard? You know what I mean? So really assess the situation and see what value does this situation bring to your life, if any? Yeah. And what role were you playing in that situation? Like, were you overdoing your part? Were you doing too much? Were you doing the things that you wanted to do? Or were you feeling like you were forced to do more than you actually want to do in a relationship? A lot of times when you want to sit and ask yourself these questions, it's easy to start thinking about the other person. Like, why is he acting like this? Why is he, you know, why is this situation unfolding like this? But when people are dysfunctional and when people are dealing with trauma and when people are trying to move through life without going through and healing the parts of them that need to be healed, you're never gonna understand the way they move. You're never gonna understand the way they think because they're thinking from a dysfunctional place, if that makes sense. Like, their thought process is not the way it should be because they're carrying so much other stuff that is causing them to make bad choices and that's causing them to not think clearly and to not make decisions that actually make sense. You know what I mean? So when you think about these things and you think about the relationship, you definitely have to kind of just focus on yourself, babe, because you'll never get to the answer of why he is the way he is. Like, you probably could if you really thought about it, but I think it's best to just focus on yourself and the things that you could do differently and the things that you've learned, and just to evaluate how you really showed up in your past situation. And that could kind of also just distract you from the overall feeling of being sad and emotional. Like, babes, please. Where's my e.l.f.? So I'm obviously gonna go ahead with my e.l.f. primer, and it's like one thing. I probably should be trying out more different primers and getting into my makeup bag, but it's just like, once I found one that I liked, I just said, e.l.f., I appreciate you. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this primer that I've been using for literally years, and I still love it. Okay, so just to get a little bit more open with you guys, for my specific situation, I was settling and I wasn't truly getting the things that I knew I deserved and required. I wasn't in a relationship with this person, but in the situation, y'all know how it is, okay? I knew that I wasn't truly getting what I desired, and I'm no tea, no shade, but I am not one of those girls that if I don't feel like I'm getting what I want, I'm going to give it to you in hopes that that makes you want to give it. No. You will not be getting no gifts out of me. You will not be getting no experiences out of me. You will not be getting anything out of me. Like, for example, if I want to go on dates, you know, at least once or twice a month, I'm not gonna start going out of my way to take you out because I want to go on a date. That's not me. So in a situation like that, I am proud to say that I was strong enough to move on and just, you know, let things be. But it is still a little disheartening and a little hard to get over the breakup, because it's just kind of like, that's still something you wanted to see come to fruition. That was still somebody you loved and enjoyed. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with these tips. So having said that, I'm taking a little break on the makeup because it's a girl talk. What do you mean? I'm just gonna go on a rant while we let my primer sit for a little bit. So the biggest thing that I have learned that I really want to stress in this video is that relationships are a reflection of who you are, for both the man and the woman, for both you and your partner, for both you and the person that you're talking to. It's just a reflection of who you are, especially if you're somebody like me who is very self-aware, who's very kind of knows what they want and doesn't really want to settle in life. And not only do you know what you want, but you put in the work to do that. Like, when you're dealing with a guy and he may not be financially where he wants to be, or he's just a little bit promiscuous and he's cheating, if that's what you're experiencing, or he just is like manipulative or a liar, whatever it is, you really have to know that that is just a reflection of who they are. If somebody is not where they want to be financially, it kind of has nothing to do with you, and you have to take that and realize that that is a character flaw. If somebody is not able to be honest and straightforward in a relationship with you, that is a character flaw. If somebody does not know how to be loyal or how to stay committed to something or someone, character flaw. Like, these are things that we have to take into consideration as women, especially when we're dating and we're going through different, you know, people trying to find Mr. Right. We need to really like pay attention to who these people are at the core. Like, these things are only reflections of who they are as a person. If a man is insecure and he doesn't feel like he's good enough to be with you, or, you know, he doesn't feel like he's ready to take on the challenge of being with a woman of your caliber, then that is a reflection of how he views himself. And when people view themselves in a certain way, their whole life is gonna reflect it, not just the relationship. And when you're building a relationship, you wanna make sure that you're taking into consideration where you want your future to kind of be. So do you want the father of your kids, if you don't have kids yet, or if you have kids and you want a stepdad, like, do you want that man to be somebody who doesn't know how to stay committed to anything? Do you want that man to not be ambitious? Do you want him to not know how to be honest? I feel like these are things that we really have to think about. Once I started thinking like this, I said, hold on, because not the father of my kids. I know that. And I'm gonna go with my e.l.f. Halo Glow. And also that is also a reflection of you. It's a reflection of your confidence level. This is just the harsh truth that I had to tell myself and I had to realize. If I'm staying in a situation that I know I deserve better than, or that I know I could do better than, and I'm staying, that just, like, we really have to think about that. Why? Why? It's a reflection of how you feel about yourself as well. It's a reflection of, do you really think that you can get the better that you want? Or do you feel like this is all you can get, so you have to stay, or you have to compromise, or you have to settle? You guys know I always talk about being able to spend so much time alone and loving spending time with myself and loving to get to know myself and learn myself and develop who I am as a person. Not to toot my own horn. Not to toot my own horn or nothing, child. But those things are not common. People who are self-aware are not common. People who take the time, or that maybe they are, but not where I'm from. Okay, people who take the time to develop themselves, that is like something special. That's not something you're always gonna come by. We know through experience that it would be so much easier just to succumb to what life is. It would be so much easier to just settle and just accept whatever is in front of you, and despite wanting more, because more is always harder to get. Being able to look at yourself and know yourself and love yourself enough to be like, I want more than this. I kind of deserve more than this. I know I'm worthy of more than this. That is not common, boo. So sometimes we can get into situationships with people or relationships with people who aren't that way. And that is what I realized was kind of my issue throughout my whole dating adult life. Like, I, moving forward, am going to put in the effort to really look for people who like the fight of development. Look for people who like the journey of growth and who don't just want to settle in life. Because if you get with a man who wants to settle in his own life, what do you really think he's going to bring to the relationship? Settlement. And I ain't talking legal, okay? Settlement. You have to really take into account what the standard for their own personal life is when it comes to themselves, because there's no way somebody is going to be able to have the bar here for themselves and then see you and then wanna like just automatically know how to bring it up here. If they don't know how to bring it up here for themselves, if they don't have the drive to bring it up here for themselves, if they don't want to change and evolve and get more out of life and get better out of life for themselves, however, do you believe that they will do that for you? That's really what I had to ask myself a lot of different times in my life with the experiences that I've had. Like, babe, people could only meet you as far as they've met themselves, okay? But when it comes to situations like that, you just can't take that personally. Like, you really have to look at how people treat themselves, because it is a reflection of how they will treat you. Okay, going to use my, guys, I don't know if I've showed you guys my new makeup brush, but I have just been loving this makeup brush by Morphe. It's the Morphe M6, like little, this is what I use for foundation, okay? So it's like a flat brush that I like to use for my foundation these days. Oh, chef's kiss. It's been coming out so cute, so nice. So I know all of this could be like a lot, and it's just like a sucky situation, especially because like it's Valentine's Day coming up soon. Love is in the air. You go out, you see these couples, you see these people, you see people who are in relationships, and like I just remember what I said earlier, like surprisingly a lot of people are not happy in their relationship. Like, it's actually scary. But besides that, I really wanted to stress to you guys that as I'm 24, I have realized how fast life comes at you, okay? Please listen to what I'm saying, because a lot of people are going through what they're going through. Yeah, they'll be upset, or they'll go and try to find advice on how to deal with this in a partner, or, you know, talk to their friends about it, see what the friends say, stick around, and try to give people the benefit of the doubt in a situation that's just clearly not working. You cannot just go through your life. Like, one day you will wake up and you will be 10 years older going through the same thing. If you don't like wake up and smell the coffee, I'm so sorry to say it like that, but if you don't wake up and realize, babe, like, yes, I may realize that this person in this situation isn't serving me, but I'm staying in it. Like, A man is going to allow you to stay in a situation for as long as you let yourself stay in a situation. Especially a man that does not want to change for himself. Girl, you will be dealing with that man just the way he is for years on end. The situation will only build on itself. It will only get worse. You will only get deeper into problems because as life goes on, so does your responsibilities. You will have kids with this person. You will probably move in with this person. You will have financial ties to this person, although you are not even married in some cases. Like, babe, you cannot just let your life pass you by, go through your life all, oh, let me text the girls about this. Let me tell, you have to do something about the things that you're saying. You can't just be in a situation, being in it, and realizing that nothing is coming from it. If you do not go after what you want, you will never get it. If you don't make the decision to go and put yourself and make yourself available to the type of experiences you want to experience, how will you ever experience it? Please let me know, because we just have to start using common sense. Like, that's what I had to really realize myself. Like, if I continue this cycle, because like I said in the vlog, this is somebody I knew for years. If I continue this, and all love to this person and all love to everybody, I am never the type of person to feel like a situation is ever a waste of time, because I always learn something. And if I genuinely love somebody at a point in time, I genuinely love somebody. Like, there is no, I hate this person. And it's also like a trend that, oh, if he comes back, it's a slap in the face or whatever. Although you go through your breakups, like, give people room and space in life to grow. You actually would have to break up and have that space be there, and not like talk and link here and there, you know, like actually give that person space to grow and become the person that you imagine them to be. But also at the same time, give yourself the space and the availability to be open to better. That's why I feel like, honestly, it's a win-win situation. Guys, why last night I was on Netflix and I seen that they had put up Love and Hip Hop Atlanta seasons 1 and 2. When I tell you, it was, first of all, throwback. I was keying with myself last night watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I was just watching Stevie, Jocelyn, Mimi. It was just like, bro, and watching it at such an older age now. I don't know when that came out, but watching it at an older age now is just like, wow, I did not realize these situations was like this when I was younger. Like, what? But no, like, this is how people get into situations like that. Like, Mimi was with a man that, you know, it just is not given, like, but you're like so much older now. But I know for a fact that there are women of all ages, like all over TikTok, in the comments of Shira7, of so many different relationship gurus, like advice, they're in the comments, oh, I'm learning this at 40, I'm learning this at 30, I'm learning this at 60. And it's just like, I'm so glad that at my age, I'm really realizing that when I get to those ages, I don't want to be experiencing and learning the things that I'm learning at 24 and 23 and 22. Like, I'm very grateful for my situation and for my position. And it is easier said than done. Everything that I'm saying is easier said than done. Like, it's easy to say you want to not settle and say that you want to wait for what you want and for what you deserve, but it's hard. It's hard, especially because, you know, it's easy to settle. It's easy to go with what's in front of you, especially if you like somebody's personality, if you like their vibe, like, but I realized that I was maturing when I started to grasp the idea that loving somebody and being able to be in a relationship with them are two different things. Like, you can love somebody all day and all night, but that does not mean that they make a good partner in a relationship. There are certain skills that you need to have. It varies depending on who, but for me personally, like, there are certain skills as a person you need to have in order to be in a relationship with me, and that's just how it is. So I feel it, and that's how it should be for everybody. So I feel like I really once I really started to understand that, it made it easier to accept that me and this person didn't work out, or me and so didn't work out, or that some relationships just don't work out. It doesn't mean you don't love the person. It doesn't mean that the person isn't, you know, a nice person to hang out with and be around and spend time with, but to build a life with. That's really how we have to start looking at it, because we on TikTok talking about 50-50 back and forth. Like, these are the people that you have to sustain a life with. Like, and that's just how I see it now. That's how I feel like moving forward, you might get the best results when dating. Just if you're dating for a relationship, just keeping in mind that person can't just be cute. They can't just have a vibe. They can't just have money. They have to have the qualities of a good partner, whatever that means for you. Once I really realized that, like, it was just so much easier to accept that situations end and accept that things don't work out. This is just dating, and this is just life, and this is just finding out more about yourself and more about the person that you're gonna end up with in the future, or the qualities that you need that person to have. If you do not get clear on that, and if you do not assess that and just explore what those options are for you, like, what is it that you actually need your partner to be able to do? I feel like my shirt is so dirty. Is it? Because, you know, I'm going to the laundry tomorrow. What was I saying? The wine is quite nice. Yes, if you don't realize those things for yourself, and if you don't get a clear idea of what it is you need your partner to have, and you stand on that, because boy, the way I be bending over, cartwheels, hop, skip, jump, stand on what? I was not standing on nothing for a long time, but now that I am older and now that I'm learning more about myself and just what I want, especially in a relationship, yeah, I'm gonna have to stand on that, because if you don't, it will just keep rearing its head. You will never have peace in the relationship. There will always be a problem. If it's not one thing, it's another, because these are the things you need. This is why I say the things that you need, you will know it's something you need if it is always a problem. You will know it's something you need if there's never peace, because this thing is not a certain way. And also, if you don't have nothing, if you don't have no qualities, if you don't have no standards, my girl, y'all gonna fall for anything, y'all gonna take anything, and that's not cute, and that's not what we here for, and that's not what we doing. My face is pretty much done. I'm kind of just gonna contour a little bit to bring some color back into my face. I want to use my Fenty matchstick, but I cannot find it for nothing. I found it. This is the Fenty matchstick in Espresso. I haven't used this in so long, so I'm gonna use this to contour. For my girls who like to internalize things and kind of beat yourself up about the fact that you like wasted so much time on somebody's potential, I had this realization the other day, like, of why it's so easy for us to fall for potential. And it's like, it's not only the potential of what could be, it also is the good times. So you know how, like, a lot of times we can just fall for potential based on the things a man says he's going to do, or a man says about the future, or future faking, or whatever it is. Once you combine those words with the current good times, because not, you know, and a lot of times with that, the reason why we stay is because, you know, when it's good, it's really good. Once you take those really good times and combine them with the empty promises, the words, it kind of is like, oh, actions, words together, happiness. No, boo. We have to realize that that is not okay. That is not good. And that is what creates this holding on and clinging to of potential, because you take the few good moments and the good feelings and the actions of what's happening in the good moments, you pair that with the words, and then you're all like flustered. Do not be manipulated. Do not be deceived, babes. People's actions and their words have to directly line up. If somebody is promising you a future of whatever it is, you have to currently see that people are putting in the steps on a daily basis to get to that specific future. If they are doing nothing of the sort, if they are doing something but not enough to really obtain what it is they said, it's a dub. It's not enough, and it's kind of like empty promises and kind of manipulation to have you stay around longer than you really should. So always take note of that when thinking about if you should leave a situation or relationship. I'm actually gonna do like a really natural eye look. Just probably gonna put some brown in my lid and just call it a day. And gonna start setting my face with my 2 setting powders. My 2, y'all know. So situations ending, relationships ending is always just a hard thing to experience, but as you guys know, like, it's just, if you guys have been watching my channel for a long time, you guys know that I really do take these situations and I just look at what I can learn from it, and that kind of helps me get over the sad aspect of it and really just appreciate the situation for all that it taught me and all that it was. But sometimes with that, we can kind of start feeling like, okay, but I don't want this guy to go on and like be like this better person with somebody else. I don't want this guy to go stop talking to me because I wanted to stand up for myself, you know, when I wanted to not settle. Now he has the option to go and talk to whoever he want to talk to. And honestly, I just have to say, for example, I'm from New York. I'm not gonna stop talking to somebody today, start talking to somebody tomorrow, and be from Missouri. You know what I mean? Like, once you are a certain way, unless you really go through a long process of change or a very in-depth process of change, you cannot be somebody who is selfish today and suddenly be selfless tomorrow. You have to remember the reasons why you and said person did not work out and realize that those reasons will remain with the person like they find tomorrow. Or I'm not saying, I'm just talking short term, because down the line, who knows, maybe the person will change. But as of right now, because when you're sad in the moment, you're thinking of, oh, he's probably texting another girl right now. The girl he's texting right now, or even tomorrow, or even next week, he will still be the same person. So it's not something you have to internalize and feel bad about and feel sad about, like, because you know what she's getting. You just experienced it. Like, not much has changed. It's only been a week. It's been 4 or 5 days. Just keep that in mind, and don't let those type of thoughts consume you, because it's just not true. Like, it's not possible for somebody to not know how to put others first and then suddenly just be the most caring, thoughtful boyfriend. You know what I mean? So, and as for yourself, I know it's super easy to just start feeling like, I don't know, like you kind of lost something. Like, sometimes it's super easy to start feeling like you lost certain things about yourself, or you lost something from this situation ending. But for me personally, the way that I look at it is I don't lose. Like, there's no way I can, especially because I am somebody who is very tied in with God, and I keep a close relationship with him, like, at all times, about all things, especially when it comes to relationships and just the trajectory of my life. There is no losing for me. That's how you have to think about it. Like, there is no losing for you. There is no loss. There is no, oh, you're missing out on something by not being with this person anymore. You're not missing out on nothing, babe. You was with them and you seen what it was like. It wasn't working, so we move on. There is no, but what if, if it would have happened, if it would have ifed already. Especially if it's been going on for years, boo. It would have ifed already. Like, we have, enough is enough. We have to put our foot down, okay? You have to put your foot down and realize enough is enough, my love. You have to just tell yourself there is no losing, there's only elevating. When you cut somebody off because they could not meet your needs, like, do you know how bad blank that is? Like, do you know how empowering that makes you feel? Like, I literally stopped talking to this person because they could not provide the experience of a relationship that I see for myself. Like, that is the ultimate. That is not the ultimate, because there are other ways you could stand up for yourself, but that is just such a sign of self-love and self-respect and self-value that you're not taking anything, you're not selling for anything, you're not wasting any more time on anything. especially if you're somebody who does give people the time to prove themselves to you. If you do give a lot of chances, like after a while, babes, you just have to realize that you're doing what's best for you, and that could only have positive effects for you. Overall, like a lot of the situations that I've experienced have just taught me that dating and relationships, whether even friendships, like any relationship that you have with somebody that is optional, like your friends and your significant other, those relationships really just take time to make sure, assess the quality of the person you are in a relationship with, assess who they are in their own lives, how they operate in their own lives, how they operate and facilitate their own life, because the point of a relationship is to mesh the lives together and to create one. Imagine if you ever like played an instrument or a guitar or whatever, and you know when like it's just out of tune and it sounds so funny and weird and strange, and like when somebody's singing and they're off key, it's like, you know what I mean? Like imagine living your life in that key. Oh, this is why people are so miserable, and this is why people, I'm so sorry, it's just the truth, but this is why so many women and men are walking around here miserable with their life, because they're in relationships and situationships and commitments and marriages and friendships and circles that just are off key, and they just do not provide a fine-tuned, nice quality to their life. Their relationships don't add that. Look at me adding some sort of color, and I said I was just gonna do brown. I filmed a look like this the other day. I still haven't edited it and posted it, but I kind of like it. If you choose to stay in a situation, or if you choose to be sad about a situation that ended, I mean, it could always be sad, but we have to like really be realistic. Like after a certain amount of like being sad about a breakup, we have to start being realistic, and we have to start looking at the situation if you truly want to move on and just get over it and kind of not experience anything like that again. Kind of want to just realize that this is about more than just romance. This is about more than just fun dates and experiences, even though that's a major part of it. If we're talking relationship and building of a relationship and a commitment with another person, we have to make smarter decisions, okay? When a relationship ends, that is only a sign of progress, in my opinion, if you are on the right side of things. If you're not the toxic person. If you're the toxic person and a relationship ends, it's also a sign of progress, because now you have the opportunity to stop, take time, figure out your own life, heal yourself, heal your toxic traits, and go to therapy if you need to, like really figure yourself out, because it not give. Yeah, that's if you're toxic. If you're not toxic, understand, and it's still a sign of progress. I'm liking how things are looking, very matte, very snatched. I'm just going to vibe out and kind of finish up my makeup, and then I'll come right back so we could do blush and lips. I'm gonna do some sort of lash. I don't know what lash. Okay guys, my camera is dying, so we're just gonna speed this up a little bit. Actually, let me take off this. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add some blush. This is the Revlon powder blush in Very Berry. I am always using this, and you really don't have to like put a lot on at all because it is so pigmented. But yeah, Valentine's Day is coming up. Love is in the air, but like I always say, it's not just romantic love. It's love for yourself, it's love for yourself, and it's love from God as well. But just always remember, like, a relationship is a lot more than the pretty things. A relationship is a lot more than just having somebody there physically. If you know that you're single on this Valentine's Day because you haven't found that person yet, or you're going through a breakup, be grateful, because there's a lot of people who are experiencing this Valentine's Day and they're not happy, and they're experiencing it and they know that they're not happy. but they're not doing anything about it. They're trying to cover it up with a Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? Definitely take the day and take this week, or babes, take the rest of your life to love on you, to stick to what you want. If you want a low effort situation because you just don't need a lot from another person, or you know, whatever it may be, don't settle until you find that. If you want somebody to take you out, be there mentally, be there physically, be there spiritually, be there emotionally, and spoil you and cater to you and all these things, do not settle until you get that. You will regret it if you do, okay? You will regret it, because nobody is going to stop you from settling. The man sure won't, the woman sure won't. You clearly are not. So you have to be the person who is strong enough for you, because you can't rely on anybody to do that for you. So if you are going through a breakup or the ending of a situation, just look at it as a fresh start. Look at it as a reason to love yourself more, because you are not settling and you are opening the door for the best possible option, or the option that feels the best to you. That is what you are waiting for, and that is nothing to be sad about. That is nothing to cry about. So if you're crying, stop, because we have too many reasons to be happy. Make sure that when you look for your next person, you look for your next situation, you are looking for somebody who is in tune with themselves. You're looking for somebody that has a connection to God, if that's what you desire, because when those two things are out of whack, it's over. When somebody is not in tune with themselves, it's done. When somebody is not in tune with God, if that's what you require, if that's what you're looking for, it's over. There's no way they can ever be in tune with you. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Know that you're doing the best thing for you. Know that you're doing the right thing for you. Don't settle, once again, and happy Valentine's Day. And thanks so much for getting ready with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is basically the end of my makeup look. Like, very simple, very calm, because child, you know I'm not going nowhere. And I'm about to just drink the rest of this and then make myself some dinner. I'm vlogging for you guys, so stay tuned for another weekly vlog. I have a lot of new life updates. Like, I feel like I always have a life update, but this one is different and unique. So for me, okay, especially if you've been watching me for a long time. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helped. I hope the timing of this video is right. It felt a little wrong just because Valentine's Day is right there and it's like anti-Valentine's Day a little bit. But hope you guys got something from this. I love you guys so much. Make sure to leave a comment. I'm always responding. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Cheers.